So this is one of the last cuts that I made in this tree before I got down. You'll see here I ended up having to go back over and cut some more on it where it would come free. We had it balanced a little bit wrong on this one. This was probably the worst one that we had. About everything else we did very well during the day. But you'll hear the high-pitched sound. That's coming from the lift. Barrett was sitting on it. He's the one that's doing this filming. So at the end of this video, stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot more in this video, but at the end of it, I'm gonna tell my thoughts on a lot of different things on this whole job and kind of what the deal was with it and all that. So just stay tuned. All right, here goes the bottom cut. I wanted to put this seam back in here because this is just so cool how this limb just leaves. Ready, Barrett? All right, coming down with a top cut. Pick up a little bit tall, just hold right there. All right, it's all yours, baby. Dude, that's freaking awesome, man. Yeah, you can see it starting to rest on in there.
Alright. If you're getting tight this next time, pull it out.
There's a good bit holding on that left side over there.
I think you still got a little bit on this far left. Right.
Roll toward him.
Yeah, go ahead. I was letting off a little bit. That's right.
There it goes, there it goes. Yep. He may need to move.
Still got some holding on in there.
There you go. You got it now, right there. Now you can cut it.
Alright, go ahead. Alright. Yeah, go ahead.
Something happens now, it's just gonna go over his head.
Yeah, I've got it pulled to where it comes off. When it comes off, it should go that way. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, you're pulling to the left on it right there. He just got to make it. Just got to bypass the cut there. There it goes.
Ooh, yeah, let's see.
Yep.
And we misjudge sometimes. That foliage is just so heavy.
Yeah, that thing was bad top heavy right there. I'm just going to kind of follow you around as I go around. You're going to go that way? Okay. All right, I'm going to go around your right and jump off the back.
Man, that opened up good. I can see.
That got you some clearance, didn't it? Got my battery saw up there now. Let him want him to run it.
like that battery powered saw?
Love it. Yes, sir. Love
I
it.
think the only other one is a guy out of Starkville that uses a couple of those, and his batteries may just be going bad, but his, every time he gets in a cut, it'll click, and it's like it locks up and click, click. But yours seems to do a lot better than.
Well, the way they got that battery saw design, the motors on the battery stuff will not quit pulling, even if you hit chaps.
Okay.
So the way Husqvarna does theirs is they've got it fixed to where if it pulls a few Newton meters on that chain, like it's starting to try to bind, what it does, it kicks the motor out.
Okay.
Automatically kicks it out. But once you learn how to feed it and everything, you can let her eat, man, you know, and everything. Yeah. But it's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Now the guy you're talking about, I think he's probably got 536s is what his is.
Is that a smaller?
It's a little bit different version of that one. It's a smaller version of that one right there.
Well, yeah, that one definitely seems to do better.
Oh, that thing will walk the dog right there, man.
Because a limb like that, what he just cut, his wouldn't. It'll stop and he'll.
You wouldn't have thought that thing would have still been that top heavy. Go ahead, I got my feet up.
I think that's it.
Look at him. There's the man right there. He's laid back, man. Get him a suntan there. We did some work today, man. We say a 60-ton crane, and it's a 60-ton crane?
38.
38, okay, I was thinking 60. What does that one weigh?
41.
4,100 pounds, y'all. That's a hoss. That's 4,100 pounds floating in there. Y'all bear with me just a second. I've got me some notes here on this where I don't forget anything about this whole job. So this job was not my job. The tree company that was doing it's called Treehuggers, and the guy that owns it, his name is Gage, and they're based out of French Camp, Mississippi. The job was actually in Louisville, Mississippi. So the guy that owns a crane, his name is Kyle. It's Mississippi Crane Services. He used to own Treehuggers, and he sold it to Gage, and Kyle bought the crane, and Kyle does primarily tree lifts. He'll lift anything, but a lot of tree lifts. And I've been communicating with Kyle since back this past spring, and I've got 2 jobs coming up that are both going to have a crane on. And I had not met Kyle yet, talked to him quite a few times, you know, that kind of stuff like that. So I was touching base with him the other night, and I got off the phone with him, and I got to thinking, I wonder if Kyle's going to be doing a lift the next day. So I texted him back real quick and asked him if he was, and he said, yeah. I said, well, do you mind if I come hang out and just hang out, watch, whatever? He said, no, I don't mind. So I said, okay. I said, where's it at? He said, Louisville. which is about an hour from me. It's where Slade lives. Matter of fact, where we were working, we were only about a mile from Slade's house where we were working at. So I left early that morning, heading over there, and I told Kyle was going to text me a pin when he got on location, because he didn't know where it was he's going to fall on. So I was coming into Louisville when he texted me the pin, and so I went on down there. So I got there, and I didn't know what the tree was. I figured it's going to be a bunch of pines, because they cut a lot of pines, you know. And Kyle come walking out there to me. I was in my 5500, had all my stuff with me, pulled over on the side of the road, and Kyle come walking over there. We met, shook hands. Kyle said, dude, this tree's a monster. And I hadn't even paid attention to the house yet. And I looked over the house. He said, there's a tree right there. I looked over the house and I thought, holy cow. I mean, the tree was, the limb span on it was just incredible. I mean, just a huge tree. So, I met Gage and talked to him. I told him, I said, I want to do some, I said, I'll help you. I said, I don't want any money. I said, I just want to be here. He said, fine, man, do whatever you want to do, you know, and everything. So everything was good. The way that they work it, they don't, and listen, everybody, let me say this right here. It's one thing I've got noted here. You're going to see things in this video. Everybody does everything different, like logging, farming, tree work, everything. You know, there's no book saying you got to do it like this, you got to do it like that. You got to work for whatever works best for you and your guys is what you got to do. And that's what makes things shine, because sometimes what some people do that they do may not work for somebody else. And a lot of people kind of get locked in on that, and they don't get that. And I think it's, you know, that you need to get out and about and around other people, and you can learn other things, and you can learn other tricks, and you can see how they do it, and you can decide whether that's going to work for you or not. So of course you see Gage, they use dump trailers. They're running 2 big dump trailers, big Tex dump trailers, and that's how it works for him. He don't run a chipper. He just loads it all in dump trailers and takes it to the dump. I was sitting there, of course, everybody in the tree world, pretty much everybody uses some kind of communication. Most people do. And what I use, they use, are Sena, S-E-N-A, Sena Communications. The same thing that the motorcycle guys, you see them riding on the roads, and they got the microphones and stuff. Same stuff as we're using in the tree world. And so all I got to do when I get there is just pair it to one of them, and then I can, you know, I'm in the loop on the whole thing. And you can, I don't know how many of them you can pair, but you can pair a lot of them. You cannot put a price on that. You can't do it. Communication is key. Kyle is a tree guy, and so he's running the crane. He's a dang good crane operator too. And man, when you put people that can communicate like that, like me talking to Kyle the way that I was and everything, and communicating, the magic happens then. It's crazy. Because as I'm cutting, and a lot of guys who cut all the time, I can actually feel that fiber through my chain, back through my saw, as what it's doing. And I'm also, anytime I'm cutting, I'm feeling the fiber, but I'm also watching kerf, the gap where you cut, watching it. And you hear me talking to Kyle, you know, and all that. But so I wanted to watch, and so while I was standing there watching the last part of the videos, while I'm on the ground, you know, I was watching, seeing how they're doing it. They don't have a climber. So I climbed up on the crane, and I told Kyle, I said, Kyle, I said, if you'll set me in that tree up there, I said, I'll do the cutting. And he said, you don't mind doing that? I said, no. I said, I want the experience anyhow, and just to help speed them up, because it was taking some time for Barrett. Barrett was in the lift to go out, rig a limb, and then come back and make a cut and then do it over again. So Gage come over and talked to me for a little bit and all, and I said I'm good with going up. So Went around, Kyle put the ball all the way down to the ground down there, which is legal to do in the tree world. And you can ride up on the thing as long as you're tied in above the ball and then on that clevis that was up there and then down there on the hook, as long as you're tied in 2 places. So I got all my stuff ready. Kyle talked to me for a little while, and so the rest is history. I rode the ball up. So basically, what I did is I got an incredible training opportunity for 5.5. Well, for all day. I was there when they started, but I was up in the tree for 5.5 hours is what I was, and we didn't get quite done with it. The weight of that tree, there's no telling what the kind of weight was in that entire tree. The biggest pick that I cut that Kyle lifted was 5,600 pounds. Did one that was 4,100, another one that was 2 or 3 that was 30-something hundred. Just a ton of lift. There's no telling what kind of weight. Kyle told me that they finished the job and the main trunk of the tree weighed 18,000 pounds, just the trunk part. So there's no telling what kind of weight was in that tree. And a lot of people commented about what it had done to the roof. It had completely ruined that roof again. A lady that lived there, her and her husband, said that they couldn't get a roof to last no time. And man, you got a tree like that just right there. And I'm sure the root system probably has jacked a slab up under that carport too. If it hadn't, it's a miracle. But trees up close to houses don't work, people. They do not work. They don't. They provide shade and they help you on an electricity bill. But I think in the long run, the price that you're going to pay in the long run for taking care of a roof and the damage that it can potentially do to your slab, it's not worth it, y'all. I looked at a tree job the other day. The guy's the front porch on his front porch there, the slab was actually lifted about 3 inches or so. It was actually running the water backwards at his house from where the tree was picking up on. And you could look at his roof line. You could stand back and you could look at where the lean-to tied into his main roof. And you could see it was bowed. It actually had like a sag in the middle of it where it's pushing up on the end. All right, so let me look and see what else I've got right here. All right, so in the tree there, I took 2 saws up with me. I took the Steel, the 400C, which is the magnesium piston saw that Steel put on the market back middle of this year, probably about June, I guess. I got one as soon as they come out. It's a 67cc saw. The saw was based off the 362 carcass, and the only thing different on it is the jug and the piston, basically. Everything else will interchange between the 362 and the 400. But here's the difference. The saw with the 25-inch ES light bar on it weighs like 18 pounds, 6 ounces, full of gas and all, so it's light. The saw gun has got some mind-boggling power. I mean, the 400, I hate to say it, but that's my go-to saw because it's so daggum light. You do get some harmonics back on it because it is light and it's got a lot of power, harmonics, vibrations, stuff like that. And that affects me in a negative way through my wrist and my shoulders and stuff like that. But running up in a tree with something with that kind of power like that, gotta have it. Gotta have a lot of power, gotta be light. Because, man, I was up there with that 400. I had my 540 IXP battery saw, top panel battery saw. I went up the rope with up the crane with 200 foot of static rope. And that brings me to the Roadrunner. Some of y'all have noticed that I'm using a Roadrunner now. I've got them all. I've now got the Roadrunner. I've had a zigzag for a long time. Love the zigzag. Love how quick it is. But I primarily climbed on double rope on a zigzag. I hate the time that it took to rig the zigzag up to get it ready to run double rope. I love the tending on it. Like when you're tending the line back up was just crazy. That's my beef against a rope wrench and a Prusik. It seems like the longer I'm on a rope wrench and a Prusik, the tighter the daggum Prusik gets on the rope. And so like when you're trying to get out on a limb or you're trying to work your way out laterally, it's like you're fighting that stupid Prusik all the time. But I didn't want to rig the zigzag because you're closing a circle all the time. Well, I bought the Roadrunner. The Roadrunner to me is kind of the perfect storm, if you will. The thing is just awesome. I love the simplicity of it. I love how easy you can go out once you get it adjusted right, because you can adjust the tension on it to the rope that you're on. I love how you can go out and it tends back in. Tending back in is very important. It tends back in like the zigzag does. So like if you're leaned out, like almost laying down flat on a limb, you're lanyard in and you're reaching to make a cut. When you get ready to come back, you want that rope to be tight on you, because that's what's kind of holding you when you're laying there to keep you from rolling and stuff. You've got your lanyard on that's kind of keeping you positioned, and then the rope coming over your shoulder around your side has got you tight. Well, for me, it was hard to keep to like pull that rope wrench and press it and get it tensioned right for me. It was like I was always loose on that. With the Roadrunner, I just snatch it and I'm there. And then when I'm ready to pivot back, I can just tend that thing in really, really quick like that. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I've got 2 bad to the bone jobs coming up. 2 of them with the crane. Kyle will be there on site. What a great opportunity for me to do that. And again, it wasn't my job, it was Gage's job. I didn't get paid a dime on that job. I didn't want any money on the job. I wanted the experience. That's the thing. Training, people, training. If you can't find somewhere to train, go work for somebody for free. Find somebody that's reputable, that's good, that will help you, whether it's saw work, climbing work, or whatever it is. Get on the freaking job, work for them for free. So Kyle set me in that tree there, and then everything just rolled. It was just the people who know who do that kind of work, they gonna understand what I'm talking about right here. I can't describe when you cut the limb and the limb leaves there. It's an incredible rush to be in the tree in the first place, but when the limb flies out, words just can't describe it. It's just a cool thing. I've never done any drugs, never, no weed, no nothing ever in my life. That right there is my high. That's how I get my high right there, is being up there in the tree. And for me to be almost 50 years old and can still do this kind of stuff like that, I absolutely love it. But great time working with Gage and Kyle and them, and letting me have the opportunity to do that. And it sped them up a lot. I don't want to slow anybody down, but when I got in the tree, everything just felt so good, even though I was working with a crane that I'd never done and never worked with before. It just rolled on. Kyle said, you'd never know that you had never fooled with a crane. But I think, again, it goes back to communication. Kyle's sitting there watching me, and I'm telling him every cut that I'm making, talking to him, telling him. That way he knows what I'm fixing to do and all that stuff like that. So this video is probably pretty long, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. And just, if you like my stuff, please subscribe to it. I want to bring the climbing community in front of everybody here and bring attention to those guys, because I think they can do things a lot of people will never dream that you could do, especially like these trees around these houses and things like that. And then you put in a mix of crane, good ground guys on the ground too, man. And me being able to meet people, that's the best thing ever. So y'all have let's see, what's the day? Today's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. Y'all have a great weekend this weekend. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.